how he feels about things or how he doesn't go and on the hunt like they do, as far as not wanting to hurt humans or do it in a certain way that some of the other vampires might do it or whatever. I think that's still a part of him and his personality at the same time too, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit of it, a little bit of truth of it in each of them. But I feel like right now we may have like the most of it from the stat, and then some things may be mixed up for Louis. And I feel like that part comes from them just wiping his mind over and over and over. Like if his mind was never wiped, how much more of the memories would he have? I'm gonna always second guess that now because I definitely don't think it was just that one time. I think Armand has been doing that on a regular basis. And he
I
claims that
agree.
Louis asked him to do it, but that could be true. But I just don't trust him now no more.
So I'm gonna ask you this question: do you think that this is gonna cause this might be a breakup with their relationship now? I know we talked about
Between
it. Okay, between Louis and Amon, because he's discovering how much he's lying to him. And Daniel Malloy pointed it out because he was like, ain't no way in heck we gonna have the same exact memories from this point. So he did, not only did
exactly.
he wipe your memory, he wiped mine too.
Hmm.
What's up, Lemon Kush Pepper?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't trust him. I feel like I don't understand why Louis even still with him now. That's why I feel like he does have a power over him, and it does have to do with him wiping his memory. Because for him to really sit here and be like, "Oh, but he saved me and he helped me and he was a prisoner like us and he couldn't help it," and this been the love of my life for all these years. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, I think he literally have been playing Louis this whole daggone time. Probably because he knows that Louis has loved Lestat in a way that he does not, have that same kind of love for him. And also that Lestat loved Louis in a way that he never loved them on, even though they all damn toxic. I don't know. It's definitely a jealousy there with him.
Yeah, it
He
is. What
even
did you
have a jealousy with Daniel too. He have a jealousy with that.
He did. He had to
Hmm.
remember when they was in San Francisco, because me and you didn't talk about that episode at all. When they was in San Francisco, he was mad. He was upset with him because he had over 100 and something people back there. And each man he took out.
Hmm.
He didn't even sleep with him. They just talked all night,
Right.
and that really pissed him off.
Yeah.
And then for him to talk about Lestat all night long.
Hmm.
And he was like, "You uttering his name in my house? Lestat, 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 Lestat." When he did that,
Yes, that was a funny episode too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I wonder if Ahmad has rewritten things in Claudia's journals to help convince Lewis of his version of what happened. Damn, that's a good
Hmm.
question.
That is a good question. I
That's
wouldn't
a
put
good
it past
question.
him for the simple fact that we see it was pages missing. Some he
Mm-hmm.
say he took out for protection or because why should he, have to put himself out there? Whatever nonsense he says to Daniel. But I would not. And then some Louis even told him to get rid of, but then he said no, he wanted to see them again because he wanted to have the full picture. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't put nothing past
Now
Armand. Like
that you
now
said
he made me not trust him.
Lenore, shouts out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you said that, remember, I don't know if y'all remember when he did the part that you just said when he went back
Mm-hmm.
and said I want to see those pages. He could have did that because he's that crafty. You know they real magical with their stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just
And
saying
that's
that.
what frustrates me with our mom because first we didn't know the extent of well, I could let me speak for myself. I didn't know the extent of his powers and how powerful he is. And then we see him do all these extra things when he wants to, but then when it's of a convenience, all of a sudden, oh, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. It's like, how, Sway, how you gonna tell me you ain't know
And
when
that's what
we
I'm
are
saying.
yeah.
You absolutely right about that. You mean to tell me you got up and walked to the door because you felt Santiago coming. You stopped everything and froze everything because you knew they was gonna be abducted. Abducted. because you know they can't have people seeing what's going on.
Right.
So you can't tell me that you wasn't part of this. And I think now that Louis is getting the story again, and not to, I still gotta mention Raglan, the other guy that, you know, when they go to the sushi bar and the guy is there talking to Daniel undercover Raglan.
Yes, yes.
He already knows how dangerous Louis is. I want to know how can I say this? I want to know how they gonna freak this, because did you see the movie?
Yes. It's been a long time, but I've seen it. I got it in here somewhere.
They rushed through that. You know what? We might have to do a rewatch of that. We have to. Especially once this season is over, we're gonna do a rewatch of that and talk about it. Because I feel like with that movie, it was rushed. With this, we got so much of the details about their relationship. We never saw that fight that they had. He said it was just a lot of pushing back and forth. And when he described the fight, he said it was just a lot of pushing back and forth, and I restrained myself. He said he tried to restrain himself for a long time with that fight.
Yeah.
He said, but it was like when he said that last thing to him, how he was going to take him out.
Yeah, Louis was going in. Now Louis tries to restrain himself at times too, but it's like once he get on 100, ain't no stopping him. He be ready. He told him he's about to go feed him to the lions, tigers, and bears,
Yeah,
baby.
he feed you to the. He said I'm gonna take your head off, and I'm gonna roll it to the zoo and feed it to the lion.
Yes, I was
When he
like,
said
oh.
that, and he did that, all of that, I was like, oh man. But this is the guy I remember from House of Game of Thrones, because you know how he was that warrior in that.
Yes.
The actor. So it's like, yo, it was so much energy with this episode. And to me, if you thought Lestat, if you thought Louis told the story, a love story where it had you happy and tears and stuff like that, Lestat was too. Lestat had you emotional too, especially when he gave him that apology. Did you think the apology was sincere for him dropping him out of the sky?
I think it was, and that part made me laugh because, of course, Santiago didn't want him to, go there. He just trying to have them on trial and prove his point and have them be guilty. So he was like, "Yeah, you ain't know what you was doing, and you ain't meant for it to be that way." And he came up and he's like, "No, I did know, and I did hurt him, and he was never the same." So he was able to come to that realization. Like once they looked in each other's eyes, it was a wrap. Because if you notice, at first Lestat wasn't looking him in the eyes, and he wasn't looking Lestat in the eyes.
When he turned, because remember he was like, "Oh, notice that he pointed to Louis Lestat."
Yes, and he was like, "No, I didn't want that." That was
Louis
funny.
Like when he said he pointed to him, he was like, "No, I did not point. I glanced."
Right.
And that was it. I glanced his way. Stop trying to embellish the story. And he didn't want him to humanize him by saying his name. You know how they do that with trials and stuff. Yes. I like that they pointed that part out.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so all right. So this episode was fire. Yeah, it was.
It was. I enjoyed it.
Theater. Yeah, I got chills. I cried with this. What about you, Tamika?
Yeah. I cried like a baby with Claudia. Forget about it. But I even got emotional when Lestat was talking. And to me, they've been getting better and better with every episode. I've really been enjoying this. I think they're doing a great job. And I forget the actor name. I think it's Sam Reed that plays Lestat. Baby, he came to act. Okay, he ain't playing no games. Okay, Santiago thought he was gonna steal the show, but I said no, baby. Lestat is in the building.
Yes. What did you think of how they had everything they had that whole thing on display to take her out. Well, I knew it was gonna be something going down when they
Yeah.
had they don't usually do plays in the daytime.
Right.
They usually either do one matinee, but they don't do it,
Mm-hmm.
and it must be a day that they don't feed us, whatever.
Right.
But I know with this, when they put him in this coffin, oh baby, I just was
Yeah.
like, oh man, and he
I
was
felt so
screaming.
bad.
I felt bad
Mm-mm-mm.
too. So let's talk about the final act.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh,
That broke my heart. And even Magdalene, even though we didn't get like, that much of her, she wasn't around for that long. And I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you had already spoke about it, but
mm-mm.
them giving her the choice and saying, well, you didn't really know everything, so you can either join the coven or, get that. And you kind of see Claudia nod, like if she's telling her, like, it's okay if you do, say you want to join the coven. But she was like, no, I choose her. She is my coven. And I feel like
Mm.
that meant a lot to Claudia because that's been her main thing. Like, she never felt like anybody was choosing her,
Yeah,
even
and
at
that's what
that
she.
point when Lestat was talking. She says
Mm-hmm.
it's always still about y'all too. Like, she was still talking her mess to the bitter end. I love me some Claudia, boy.
Yeah. What
So
did
I,
you think about her with the telling telling the guy in the back to take his hat off?
yeah, when she said, "I see all y'all faces," I said when I was doing my recap that reminded me of until you do right by me, everything you think about gonna crumble. She let them know, like, if it's an afterlife, I'm coming for all of y'all. Okay, I'm gonna be taking every last one of y'all down. So yeah, now I
She
get
was
to see
saying.
all y'all faces.
She was
Mm-hmm.
also saying you didn't. He had a chance to apologize. Why can't I?
Right,
When
like you
she said
forgive
that
him.
broke my
Mm-hmm.
heart, yo.
Yes.
Knew she was a kid. That's what I'm saying. She was like, he was like, you see how she came back and manipulated the situation because she saw what kind of turmoil Louis and my relationship was in. Do you think she took advantage of that? I can't hear you, Tamika.
Hello. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I had got a call.
Oh, it's all right. I
What
said,
you was saying?
do you think that that dad, you make me forget my question. I said, do you think that I felt like Lestat felt sorry for her after when she said the whole thing about he apologized. Why can't I apologize?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I say I'm sorry about what happened?
Right. Yeah.
I
But
felt
she
like
was
they
like,
could have.
she
I'm
said,
sorry.
yeah, we gave him, yeah, we poisoned him, but he's still here. He all right. Did he die? He's still standing here. Because Cincy was like, oh, see, that's an admission. She's over here admitting to it. And it's like, yeah, I did do that. But he's here and he's okay. Like, you will take his act, him saying he's sorry. And then even Lestat said, I'm guilty. If they're guilty, I'm guilty too. You know what I mean? So it was like he admitted it as well. And then she made a very valid point with that. If I stand here and say, I'm sorry, will y'all forgive me and let me go? No. And when Madeline was like, is this a trial? And she said, no, this is a stoning. Because she
Mm-hmm.
knew, like, we know what was about to happen. Oh, Lord.
Okay, so
Mm-mm-mm.
somebody says something. Where's that comment about Santiago? I just saw it. I don't know. It's like the chat started going real fast. Okay, let me put us up here because I can't see the thing.
Mhm.
So Lestat wasn't angry when he dropped Lewis. He was heartbroken and hurt. He was because he's like, yo, you told me if I turned this girl, you was gonna never leave me. And
Mhm.
you leave her.
Mhm. Yeah.
Causing all this drama. You done made me turn this little girl, and now you gonna leave me after I begged you. Okay? He begged on his knees to turn her. That's why I think she felt betrayed the most by that. Because now you don't ask to turn me, and now you leaving with somebody else.
Mhm.
So who's the most messed up in all of this?
I don't know because they all have they things. Like Louis definitely they all toxic in different ways. Like
Okay, I'm gonna put it to you in a better way. When he said, okay, we know they all toxic in their own ways, right?
mm-hmm.
But do you think that Lestat said it? He said, I broke him when I dropped him.
Yeah.
Do you think that he was messed up from that point on, or he was messed up before that?
Uh I think it's a little bit of both. I think he definitely was already messed up when he, first found him, but that definitely changed him and probably made him worse in a lot of ways. I mean, you see it brought up a lot. You see him bring it up. You see Claudia bring it up. Armand definitely did not get the same person that got, and on top of that, it's like he would never love him the way that he loved Lestat. And even Lestat had his own heartbreak with Nicholas before that, and then stayed
I'm
underground
glad
for
you
like
mentioned
100
that.
years, and then
I'm
came. You
glad
know
you
what I
mentioned
mean?
that. Now, getting to that, we saw aha moment. Is this a foreshadowing moment when we saw him look across and said that
Mm-hmm.
Armand aided in the hand of taking out
Right.
his last person,
Mm-hmm.
his lover.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that, because remember, he didn't want to turn him. He was just human walking around with him.
Yes.
And Armand tried to turn him and it didn't work. He was all right in the beginning, but then he went crazy.
Yes.
Do you remember Daniel Malloy asking Louis, did he have schizophrenia? Was he a
Yes.
schizophrenic?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what do you think? Do you think they're putting things together like that now? Because remember, he kept hearing he's hearing voices and this and that. And or I just think it's just his feelings that he had for Lestat. He still had a whole bunch of confusion with that because he really never wanted to take him out. He just wanted to just walk away from dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I think, like I said, the human Louis, I feel like already had different issues, and some of those issues are still with him as a vampire. But then, of course, since he's been living the vampire life and everything he's went through, and that has impacted him in different ways. If he was just a human and he was going to, a doctor, then they probably would diagnose him with a couple of different things. But because he's a vampire, it's like it's different, So I don't really know how to look at that part. But I can
Mm-mm.
understand why Daniel would look at it that way and say what he's saying.
Lenore got me going. Lou is crazy as hell. Look,
He do have his issues. We can't act like he don't. We can't act like
he
Louis don't
do.
be wilding
Remember,
out.
I think you know what it was. Remember, she called him an angel, and that was right after his
Yes.
mother said, "Look, the
Yes.
devil is here."
Right.
So I think that's why it played so much on his psyche because that was the last thing his mother said to him.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he done showed his face here now. Here's the real person, the devil. And she
Right.
said that to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's always this way with Lewis and his relationships. Armand could have gotten Sam to rest and saved everyone if he wanted to. Armand is a very dark character.
I agree.
I do. He
I
is.
agree.
I think he's diabolical because I feel like he
Mm-hmm.
orchestrated all of that from the night they came there.
Yeah.
He did it from the night he came there to me. He knew about him being with Lestat from that night.
Yeah, even when
The
I
first
think
night.
it was the last. I mean, even when the last I think it's the last episode, y'all, but y'all know what I'm talking about. When they're going over the play and he's sitting in the audience, and the whole time that he's in the audience, Santi is busy multitasking and sending them on missions, and they doing all of this. And it's like, how did you not know? How you didn't read their minds or anything? Oh well, I was so wrapped up in Louis. I was so in love. Like, give me a freaking break. I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
Just like the thing with the last what those last words that Claudia and Madeline was speaking, he said, "Oh, I didn't get that because my mind was with Louis at the time." I call hogwash on that too.
Exactly. Lies, lies, lies. I don't believe one word. And we only have his damn story as far as what was the last thing with Claudia, and I hate that.
Okay, so Antigone H. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Joanna, do you? I think he did have the capability to stop it. Like you said, he had the capability to stop it as an ancient vampire. He's passive. Let it happen. I think there was a selfish motive that Louis Paramus seemed to get jealous of Claudia. They both was jealous of Claudia. So he
Yes,
was. Amon
absolutely.
was too. But
Yes.
he was jealous of the fact that Louis still babied her because he
He
was like,
didn't.
"You want to do all of this?" She joined the coven, and now she
Mm-hmm.
wants to leave, and she wants to have a companion too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why he was
Yeah, he
so.
never liked Claudia. That's why he wasn't gonna be worried about saving her regardless. He wanted it to just be him and Louis.
Yeah, I agree, and
Yeah.
I think he knows how mad Louis gonna get because he seen how everything played out at that restaurant when he yanked his tongue out his mouth and pulled it. He seen how everything was gonna happen then. And I think he did like, let me let this play out.
Yeah, Louis about to get it on and popping with them. They ain't seen nothing yet, honey. They laughing now, but they ain't gonna be laughing for long. I'll tell you that.
Lewis went from a pimp to a deal in the 70s with Daniel. Chicken and chow mein and boy game Lewis. Amar
Hmm.
couldn't get rid of Claudia fast enough. Not to mention, he wouldn't tell Lewis what Lestat was saying when he contacted him telepathically. Yup, especially
Hmm.
that was back in San Francisco.
Exactly.
I want to know if we're gonna
Yeah.
see. Do y'all think we're gonna see Lestat again? Because he's still alive, y'all.
That's what
They
I
showed
want to
that
know.
already when we saw the last episode with Malloy's story. We know that Lestat is still alive, and that
Hmm.
was in the 70s.
That's what I want to know. I definitely want to see him again. Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, let me go to this one. This okay. It's always this way with Lewis and his relationships. Okay, I read this one already, right? Yeah, I read that one already. My bad. I think Lewis was depressed. He fell back in love with Lestat before the attempted deletion. I believe he did too, but he wanted to he remember he that night. Remember she had to smack him and bite him to get himself in gear to complete everything that night.
Hmm.
Remember she had to dance with him because they was kissing in the middle of the floor with all those people there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Anywho, I want to know how he gonna take out Santiago because I know that's gonna be a fight.
Hmm.
That's gonna
Oh,
be a
he about
fight.
to put it on him. He about to put it on all of them. Trust and believe.
Keep
That's
in
why I
mind,
said.
keep it. It's 19 vampires and one of him.
Hmm.
I think he gonna wake up. He gonna wait till they have one of they nights where they be tired after they feed or something. I want to know how long he gonna stay in that coffin like that.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know how much time is gonna pass, but I'm gonna tell you one thing: he gonna get up out of there, baby, and cause some havoc. Okay, burn it all down. I want to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Oh yeah, he is salty because
Yes.
Lestat used him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only reason why he took up with Louis because he knew that when you can't tell me that when Louis looked up and saw that picture in the theater that he didn't get goosebumps and stuff. You can't tell
Mm-hmm.
me he didn't feel emotions of being scared that they know him.
Oh yeah.
Because this is the place he told them not to go. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
he was saying, look, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. It's a drag and this and he was too speaking
Right.
about so much negative things about going there. Okay, so she says, remember, Lewis didn't know whom Claudia gave the poison to, and he cut Lestat's throat to let the poison bleed out. So you think you think he knew he was saving him? I thought I think he did it, but he couldn't follow through with it after. That's why he put him back in his coffin, like he said. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the only reason. I think that's why he wants to spare him too, because to me it seemed like he knows what he's thinking too. I think he be lying about stuff too, Lestat. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's why I said I think it's a combination. I really don't think it's like a black and white one thing. I feel like, sometimes we all tell ourselves something or we'll make a story a certain way to make ourselves look a certain way. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I always say his side, your side, and the truth is in the middle. Like
Mm-hmm.
definitely it be some stuff that he lies about too, whether it's to himself or to other people. Hey Matthew Wilson, I didn't even know you be watching this. Okay, what's
Damn.
going on?
Okay. Amar was fronting his power, talking about they would take him out. Meanwhile, he sent power of suggestion over almost all of them. Yeah, I believe he was
Mm-hmm.
bluffing. He could have stopped this whole thing, but he let it play out because he knew Claudia was going to be gone with this.
Mm-hmm.
No, Lestat didn't know Lewis was saving him. Daniel called it out at the end of the last
Yeah,
season.
Daniel did say that. He
Mm-hmm.
did. Daniel be calling them out on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think his days is numbered, yo. I think his days is numbered. So, do y'all want to address anything else before we get up out of here? I want to do the trailer breakdown. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and do the trailer breakdown, y'all, at 9. And I'm gonna have some trivia questions for y'all. So get y'all thoughts together. Don't forget we doing Mayor Kingstown Wednesday. We got the coldest winter ever. Make sure y'all, if y'all in the book club, this is the book that we're reading. This is the first installment, the first book, the coldest winter ever. And we're gonna be talking about that. So please be sure to there's someone actually reading it on YouTube. So if you want to do that, you could, have somebody read it to you, or you could download the audible. Okay. So that's what we doing. What you got going on, Tamika?
uh, well, later today we are gonna be back on for House of the Dragon and then the Shy.
Mm,
Um, I got my
yeah.
sisters on Wednesday, I think, and I'll be joining Moochie for the Mayor of Kingstown, and then we just keep it going and keep going again, right?
Yeah. Round and round it. All
Yeah.
right. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. Uh, Let me see. I want to know how Amon has Lestat personal vampire number to be calling him up in the 70s. But for him to do that, he could have did that all along. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
He hasn't contacted him before.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. Do
Exactly.
y'all think we gonna get a backstory with that? Because now, look, we got Lestat side, we had Louis side, and a little bit of Amon. Are we gonna get most of it again? And do you think that Louis really ran up on that roof like that because he drank Daniel Malloy because he had all of them drugs in his system?
I don't know. Louis was no. Well, it really felt like he got upset once he brung up Claudia and said, the stat never loved you, and the girl didn't need the Claudia didn't need the, and then he started remembering stuff from Paris, and it seemed like it just took him into,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Um, What did y'all know? Zion from Power Book 2 is Bunny General from Mayor Kingstown season 1. I didn't even notice that. Do
Say
you
that again.
think they're gonna turn Daniel? No, I was reading Matthew's comment.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're gonna turn Daniel. That's what I want to know. I want to know if they're
Yeah,
gonna
that's what
turn him, if
I'm
they're gonna
thinking they
take
was
him
gonna
out.
turn. It's either they're
Hmm.
gonna turn him or they're gonna take him out.
Hmm.
Because remember, Raglan is like, why don't you give me the book to publish it? And to me, this is my theory I'm gonna put out. I think Raglan is with Lestat. I think they all in cahoots together because they can't they can't let that story get out.
Hmm.
And I think he's either part of Armand's thing, but he's acting like he's not, or he's with Lestat's people. I for some reason I just see him. I see him with Lestat's people. All
He
right.
sure do know a lot. I don't know. And for him to say, you worried about Armand, but you should be worried
You need to
about the
worry about
other
the
one.
other one.
Yeah, he obviously knows something. It's gonna be very interesting, y'all. I can't wait to see this next episode.
Okay. So she said, I hope next season they replay season one, but from the stats point of view, that would really be interesting. I don't think they're going to because it's like we got that version
Hmm.
during the play. They showed
Yeah.
they little parts. Like the part where he turned Claudia, we didn't know all of that
Hmm.
happened. We just know he
Yeah.
came there with her and he was begging her for a couple minutes and he was saying no, but it wasn't like it seemed like it was more. He didn't explain it like that. It came in a different way.
Yeah. If
And I think Claudia,
anything, one thing I would have liked to see more, like how in the movie we saw Lestat, looking all messed up and him having to go through the healing process. I wouldn't have mind if they would have showed us more of that because you figure we haven't seen Lestat until when he finally showed back up here, at the play. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a lot of the way that they're breaking it down in the show. But if it was anything that I still wanted to see, it would have probably just been like, how he was making out, how he healed up and all of that kind of stuff. But I also know as a TV show and we can only fit but so much into it, but they may have some different flashes back and forth
I
with
could see
certain
that
things
happening.
in the next season. Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Hmm.
Daniel definitely isn't leaving the same way. I know that's right. I think Amar will turn Daniel and Raglan will end up leading Lestat there in the present day. I think so, but for him to say that's the other one you should be afraid of,
Hmm.
we about to see why.
Oh yeah.
We about to see why, yo. And but I
Because
know Louis gonna mess it up.
yeah, we know Louis could turn up. That we know. I don't even think he realizes how powerful he is sometimes. Because once he get in that zone, he just get there and then he just be ready to go.
Because
He just give.
what did he say in the beginning? He didn't practice restraint,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's learning.
Yes.
And San Francisco was a time when he lost it, but you got to look at it like this too. He was under the influence. We didn't know that back then.
Mm-hmm. And now they done took out, Claudia. That is not gonna be nothing to talk about. It's a whole different ball game.
I
Yeah.
know. But that's why I think he's gonna talk to him because let's say if we go by the movie,
Mm-hmm.
they skipped San Francisco and then they showed them in today's time. So we
Right.
got and then in the movie, Lestat took Daniel and he was like, "Now you gonna get my version of it,"
Right. Right.
and
Yeah.
then that's how it ended.
Yes.
But
Yes.
this time we kind of got it there.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about him when he was talking to Lestat? When he was talking to when they talked about Claudia, Lestat was sitting in the room with them.
Mm, I just
Was that
don't
all
know
Louis
if
said?
that's still. I don't know if that's just Louis now seeing him again, because he wasn't seeing him for a long time, and maybe just bringing this up now has him seeing him again, or if he was actually there. But I do feel like now that you brought up that part about what happened in the movie and Daniel Malloy, I could see a situation where he's thinking he got this book all finished and he leaves and the stat pops up, wherever the heck he at, like, and now, you know what I mean? You got
He
to
gonna
deal with
pop up
me.
right at that sushi restaurant because he be going out. Did you notice that Louis don't be going out?
Yes. Yes.
So
I
do you
did
think that was
notice
part
that.
of the banishment thing? But they, look, I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't. I wanna. I don't know. I was like, I noticed that he don't go out no more,
Hmm.
and he's confined to the house. Okay, you said it looks like Louis was hallucinating again. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah, because my thing is I don't know if Louis doesn't go out because of that being his own doing, that he just don't want to go out, and he pretty much makes that sure that he have everything that he needs in there, and then Armand is the one that goes to do whatever he gonna do, or if it's something that Armand has done to him that makes it where he stays there. That's what I'm curious to know. But I don't know if they're gonna go that deep into it and let us know, because we definitely see that he does not leave there at all.
Right. Right. Um.
I feel like he's his prisoner, Lenora. I honestly do.
I
That's
think
what I
so
want to know.
too. He was
He don't
also
even know it.
What about this part? He was also using drugs. If you think about it, all of the folks he fed on in the 70s were drug addicts.
Yeah,
And
and he had a suitcase full of every different kind of drug. There was
mhm.
to me. For real. Mm.
Okay, Louis is Amon's prisoner. Amon is not allowing Louis out of that penthouse.
Yeah,
You called
that's
it
how I
he said
feel.
loony. All right, so
Oh wow,
yeah.
you never watched the movie or read the book, Matthew? Yeah. Well, that's one thing I like about the series, is that you can watch it if you never did either one and still be able to enjoy it and get into it. And if
Yeah.
you have watched it, to me, you still can enjoy it, even though there'll be some people that are complaining. But I think they're doing a well job. This is not one of the things where I'm like, oh, they didn't do this like the book, or they didn't do this like the movie. I've still been able to enjoy it for how it is. I still think they're doing a good job, but I read the book a long time ago. I don't really remember every single thing from it, but I did, and I saw the movie a long time ago. Like I said, I know I got it somewhere in here. We used to be watching that thing on a regular,
I
but I
agree.
like this aspect of the show.
I agree. I like this version of it better to me because it's more
Mm-hmm.
details.
It's more detailed, yeah. They can go into a little bit more because it's like episode by episode, whereas a movie's gonna be like, I want to have 2 hours. You gotta pick which pieces you're gonna talk about. So I feel like they could go into a little bit more.
Um.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I read that one. I told y'all Lewis was a dealer in the 70s. It's his business during that time period. You know what
Mm-hmm.
he
Well, he
was.
said, I'm a hustler, baby. He told Armand, listen, I know how to run things.
Well, look, he knew how to do that. He's good with the artwork too.
Yes.
He took
Mm-hmm.
that up in Paris. So
Yes.
he's probably like an art dealer because you seen how they was
Mm-hmm.
trading pieces and stuff like that.
Yes.
This
Mm-hmm.
show is better than the movie. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I saw the movie, but the show is so much better. I agree. You get so much more details.
Yes.
All right, so please be sure to keep y'all notifications on. Come back on through at 7:05. We're gonna be doing the House of Dragons with Nita the Diva. So
Mm-hmm.
keep y'all notifications on. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank you, Lenore, Angela Helper, Matthew Wilson. Look, we might do the rewatch on the original Interview with a Vampire. So keep that going, and because we are gonna do it when this season is over. When we have like a break with downtime, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Take care. Thanks for coming out, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Ew.